Okay, this is an idea for inverse compressor, kind of. So what a compressor does is a compressor takes the sound and it takes the high volumes of the sound and it cuts off the high volumes and it brings the low volumes up. So you can hear the subtlety and nuance and lower volume stuff along with the lower, higher volumes. So it takes off the loud parts and makes everything louder, makes all the quiet stuff louder, and fills up this fills up the loudness, basically fills up the loudness that way. So this one is going to work in inverse. This one is going to aim to basically put the center of focus on the higher volume stuff. So rather than put the center of focus on the lower volume stuff like a compressor normally does, this is going to work in inverse and put the focus on the higher volume stuff. So what it's going to do is at a threshold, it's going to cut that lower volume out. And it's going to bring everything down and bring the higher volumes down into focus. Possibly would be the other thing. So basically you want to either cut their lower volumes up and raise the spectrum to where the higher volumes are. So if you go from negative 100 decibels to a positive 100 decibels, you now want to move that up to like 50 and 150 and focus on the higher volumes. So basically, because especially when you're singing, like screaming and singing and stuff, you don't want your higher volume stuff to be cut out. Like when you're listening to a singer as a person, you mostly hear their higher volume stuff. You don't mostly hear their lower volume stuff like in the studio where you hear their lower volume stuff. When you listen to someone sing, you hear their higher volume stuff. So this would be like, there's possibly singers that would benefit from the center of focus being on their louder volumes and cutting out their lower volumes, possibly even. And I was thinking like Ableton Max Live, you can make your own plugins from all the other plugins. You can take all the other parts from all the other plugins and make your own plugin. So you could take like a threshold from a compressor, and then rather than attach it to a compressor that cuts off the high volumes and focuses in on the low volumes, you can attempt to try to do something where you lower the higher volumes into the focus. Yeah, where you probably won't be able to bring the focus up. That'd probably need to code to do that. You probably need to code to bring it from negative 100 to 100 to negative 50 to 150. You see, you wouldn't be able to necessarily do that, but you'd be able to lower the volume so it falls into the same spectrum. So you could take all the higher volumes and lower it so it falls into the meaty part or the hearable part of an audio signal. And so that's the other thing. The way we defined an audio signal is obviously limited. It's obviously limited to what you can actually get out of an audio signal. It's got like broadcast built into it. It's not like a raw audio signal. It's like a broadcast format plus an audio signal at the same time. So it's like you should never clip. Like sound never clips in the real world. And your audio signal should just have more definition, just have a bigger definition so it doesn't clip. If you go up to 1,000 decibels, it should record it at 1,000 decibels, right? Although that might break your speaker, right? So since that might break your speaker, they put it into a broadcast format where it's got a set volume, right? But the raw audio signal might not or shouldn't possibly have that. And you might be wanting to bring things into a center of focus and then just control the volume on top of that so it doesn't break your speakers. But yeah, so this is for an inverse compressor where you focus in on the higher volumes and bring out the character, singers with character in their higher volumes.